Vashon, qualification of the jurors went very well this morning. I was shocked. I told Deputy Laura, we finished before 9:30 downstairs. All right, I am going to call the docket. When I call the docket, you need to stand and let me know you are here. Otherwise, I'm going to assume you're not here and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. Someone will be in jury trial today. Ray Delarosa. Thank you. Samantha Venegas, custody. Marlon Daniels. Kevin Huggins. Christopher Rivera, custody. Josephine Marroquin, custody. Angel Placencia. Thank you. Richard Madrigal Flores, Christopher Rivera, Malachi Bacham, custody. Joseph Juarez, RG Ford, custody. John Alexander Martinez. John Alexander Martinez. Michael Keating. Michael Ryan Keating. Carlos Ruiz, custody. Harold Adams Raleigh. And we started out so well. Javier Villalba. Thank you. Larry Smith, custody. Gabriel Diaz. Gabriel Diaz. Christopher Beltran, custody. William Hopper. Monique Kirby. Thank you. Daryl Payne, custody. Priscilla Para, custody. Johnny Ruiz.
Present.
Thank you. April Diaz. April Diaz. Maria Ruiz, Cortez Polk, Gaspar Rodriguez, custody. Anyone who came in late or your name was not called? Yes, sir, in the light blue shirt. Michael Keating, let me see.
H3.
Thank you. And yes. I'm sorry, who? Rodney Adams. Raleigh Adams.
H3, just a little bit below.
Okay. All right, remove the shades. Yes.
Harold Clemens.
I'm sorry, first name?
Harold.
Harold Clemens. All right, thank you. All right, everyone. As I said before, there's going to be jury selection today. So if you don't see your attorney in here, you have the court's permission to step outside, pick up the phone and call your attorney. Attorneys who are here, you know the rules, so I don't have to tell Renee or Robert Porter the rules. So please proceed.
Okay. I'm sorry? We were told it was said it couldn't use this one. Okay, I can give you that call.
Radio.
All right, Deputy Laura, there's someone outside the VB. It's the students who are supposed to be shadowing me today. They say that they are outside the courtroom right now.
You know how many students?
It should be 2.
Yes.
Oh,
They're inside.
oh, come forward. Oh, okay, come forward. Yes, come on up. Have a seat here. Robert Porter or Michael DeLeon, could you do me a humongous favor? Could you have another chair for one of the students, one of the young ladies, please? Get another chair for you. Oh, Deputy Laura says she has it.
See what they are setting in.
What is your name? All right, nice to meet you. And what is your name? So what year are you all in?
0, 1, 4, 5.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the 187th District Court. And I'm going to have you meet some of the attorneys.
Yeah, that's
Okay, so let's do that.
But if you're missing some friends, that's the reason why everybody thought it was.
here. I would like to just approach because she is here. I brought her in today to see if I could just get her. So, for Deonette Miller, it's mine. Like, they made Miller her first. Oh. I didn't teach that to her yesterday when I came in.
All right, so attorney,
Savannah is on that one.
these are students who are shadowed. They're juniors in high school, so please let them know what you all do. All right, and so they're a little bit shy. Remember when you were young, which was probably 40 years ago? I get it. So, please introduce yourselves to them and let them know what you do. And they're just gonna walk around a little bit to get lay up the land and maybe see how to negotiate your cases if you're in the middle of negotiation. And they won't repeat to me what their negotiations were about. But I want them to get a true experience what we actually do. So he's a prosecutor, that's Rick,
It was
that's
that
Andrew,
here, but
that's Renee, that's Robert Porter, they're defense attorneys. That's Michael Delion, who's trying to look at me, but he's not. He's a defense attorney, fellow prosecutor, so. Mix it up.
But I've already been doing this, I did yesterday and I knew about it. I've already got the discovery. The maltreatment. Like $100 is how it increased.
Martin, that's.
I was trying to. Vigilante as well.
All right, so one place,
So that's what I was hoping I could take.
Having to deal with these guys.
Or you just want Okay.
You have to come up here.
Kevin Huggins.
Well, or do you just want to set it? I'm sure I told her at any point, some point.
Today.
Joseph Matthew White.
Trial it is.
John Alexander Martinez.
All right, Monique Kirby, if you'll come forward.
Yeah, I read it yesterday.
Keating, Michael Keating.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. So I wanted to make sure that you had an attorney with you because sometimes people feel better and more comfortable if an attorney is with
Judge, can we
them.
just have one more?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, sure. All right, they're gonna call me. We'll call you back up, all right? Okay, sure.
John Alexander Martinez.
This is what happened to. Jury. Believe that person. That's one of these situations.
Are you down there?
All right, who is here for Deonette Miller Havana? Hi, is this on the docket today?
No, it's not, which was some confusion. So as a pre-file, it was set for today and we never got notice that the setting was canceled. So we appeared, my client is here. It has been indicted now, so that I guess setting got canceled.
Okay.
And so we have already conferred. I came in early, spoke with the state
Your
yesterday.
client come up?
Yes.
Really nice.
Hello, and am I pronouncing your first name correctly?
Havana.
No, your first name.
That's not my first name. It was that's my middle name, Deonette.
Ah, so the state, this is incorrect. So I'm sure the indictment may be incorrect.
The indictment
Oh,
actually
the
looks like it,
indictment is correct.
yes, I think they just entered it wrong initially.
All right, let me make sure the docket sheet is correct. All right. So I guess I have an acknowledgement of discovery, so you have all of the discovery?
I have all of the discovery at this point, but we don't have an offer, so we're waiting on that.
All right, so then what I'll do is I'll reset this and I'm gonna reset this for a date. State, when will you be prepared to tender an offer? Well, I mean, it needs to be done, so I can bring it back in 2 weeks for you to tender an offer. So I need to know.
I can't tell you because this case is a special case to the DA. I need to have a meeting with the DA before I can extend an offer. And I don't know when that meeting will take place.
All right. So this is what I'll do then. I'm gonna set this for 30 days. In 30 days, state you need to tender an offer. Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset.
April 24th.
All right. All right, once you sign the reset form, you excuse. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Yes.
All right,
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay.
You're welcome.
You'll have a seat.
All right. John Martinez. John Alexander Martinez. Gabriel Diaz.
Okay, Gabriel Diaz is gonna zoom in from, I guess, Medina County at about 10.
Okay. April Diaz. April Gutierrez Diaz. All right, everyone, if your attorney, everybody's still sitting here. If your attorney is not here, you need to pick up the phone and call them. You have the court's permission to step outside and pick up the phone and call your attorney because we have a jury trial that is going to start today. Otherwise, you're going to have to come back this afternoon.
And my role is to approach attorneys, have those cases right there, one of them being with Mr. Gabriel, so we can reach an agreement on a plea. If we can, I approach these cases, I convict them.
Should I need to have anything else to me?
For everybody, including the defendant.
Yeah.
You talk with the clients about. Depending upon. If we can find part of this. She's coming down now. That'll work.
Oh,
Morning, Your Honor.
good morning.
Coach,
Yes.
just to remind you not to forget your.
All right. I appreciate that. Oh, and just so you know, we have two high school students here.
Oh, really?
The young lady in the pink and the
Okay.
other young lady in the pink. So please impart some wisdom to them.
This young lady here?
Yes, and also here.
Okay.
Yes. All right, thank you. So that is completed. Yes.
Okay, we're right on Kirby now. We're right on Kirby.
All right, Miss Kirby,
Oh, God.
Monique Kirby.
We're going to the same way.
Thank you.
What we do want to do.
Hello, how are you doing? All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. I really do appreciate that.
Yes.
All right, so they tell me that you are doing well. And the only issue is the fee. Well, for me, it's the restitution. So do we know how much restitution is remaining?
She does it. The restitution itself for a total balance was, that's a false number. She's made payments, I believe, about $3,700 right now.
So let me find out. Probation on Kirby, can you tell me the amount of restitution that's owed?
$3,750, Judge. So,
They just changed the rules, not getting too personal. for your family. So they keep it 4.0. Make sure. This is all the words, get your proper documentation, by the deadline.
I'm sorry to have to do this. Can you please give us another moment?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, just have a seat.
Stay there for my practice. Part of my job.
Normal? Yes, ma'am. That's, for something that's on the docket today, fair play.
Okay. Marroquin.
Mar- Marroquin. Yes, okay. I'm working on it. But you didn't roll your R. Do I roll my R?
Marroquin.
Marroquin. Okay.
Here, she has to repeat back down. I think it's good to have.
It's compliance.
That's the movement.
I'll call them. This is normal, but for you to put away, but it's no, 75. Yes, I'm sorry.
This mine?
Remember when we tried?
Ours is.
That's the website for him.
Oh.
That's you guys.
Oh, you're thinking what's.
Okay. So you all are educating my student?
Trying to.
And I'm calling them student attorneys because,
We're the future.
yes, awesome. And that is Miss Bashan Abrams. She's with probation.
Have a seat, man.
Hi, have a good one.
Cases taking it, so I don't know, how do you want to calm down or? 15 or. By your business. Those are what is.
Oh, are you all ready? All right,
Okay.
Monique Kirby,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, probably.
all right, we are back again.
Anyways.
All right, so the only issue it appears has to be with restitution. So do we have an amount of restitution that is owed?
Judge, so the total amount of restitution was the 3750.
Mhm.
She has made payments totaling $2,435 toward her account. As you are aware, when a corporation is the party that should be paid for the restitution, that corporation essentially is the last priority when making payments.
Mhm.
So none of that monies have gone to the corporation. It has gone to all of her other fees.
All right, so what the court is going to do is by my calculations, you say that the amount she owed was $3,750?
Yes, Judge.
And she has paid $2,435?
Yes, Judge.
So that means that she has a balance of restitution for the court of $1,315. So with the $1,315, have you worked out a payment plan for paying $1,315?
I worked out payment plan, but towards like the rest of what I own, the 3,000 something.
She worked out a payment plan for the total amount, Judge, that she owes. Because that, of course, doesn't take in account her other fees.
All right.
Yes, Judge.
Judge, can I have my court?
This? Oh, you know what? Here you go.
I'll just.
All right.
Thank
Thank you. And Robert, do you want to put this on the docket in 2 months?
Sure.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. I need a 2-month reset date on Kirby. And that way we can keep track of it.
May 26th.
All right.
Get some breath.
Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
did you say May 26th?
Yes, ma'am.
What date is that? Is that a holiday?
Say.
We'll check on my account.
I believe it's Memorial Day. So Robert, it's going to be May 27th.
Yes, Sean. Yeah. The 26th is one more.
Sarah Marlon Daniels. Hello. All right, so on this case, blood discovery, where are we?
So there were 3 facilities that were involved. We received a blood discovery about from 1 facility. I've reached out to the other 2 facilities. And they've represented to me that the state will be in possession of it by April the 9th.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson. Put this case, and you said April when?
9th.
All right, put this for discovery the week of April 21st.
Yes.
The week of April 21st.
The 21st.
All right, so we'll be back on April 21st.
I have an agreed order for you from my clients. You put him on probation a couple of weeks ago or a week ago. His wife just needs property that he has. They don't object to it.
All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. And we'll have you back on April 21st.
Thank you.
Counsel, just give me a moment.
Oh, sure.
And this return of property, that's only in one case?
Yeah, that's the only thing that
Okay.
they need.
Oh, this is a completely different case. This is not concerning this client.
Right, it's a
Okay.
different person you put on probation a couple of weeks ago,
Right.
and he's in custody and the wife just needs these property.
Okay. Right. They need to put it in the system, but they'll give you a copy.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Yes, ma'am. And then I need to get a copy of that. Okay.
And
We're gonna, if it's related to this case. I just need a copy of this. Can I take it to the bank? Okay.
go to, the parking back.
Okay. How are you doing? So I'm here on Gabriel Diaz, he's the one in process.
He has not logged in.
Not yet.
No.
Okay.
So if you get him to log in.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
call them and see.
All right. Thank you.
No, this now, it's done, but I don't see that they issued a warrant because it would be right here.
Yeah.
I'm not a big-
Yes, ma'am.
Lord. I have no idea. I just told them it was recalled from yesterday. The file's not here, my fault. And they, they just come up to me. They never respond. She's not here yet. I'm not. This is the first, I don't think we've seen them quite make it. Like she was gonna get it without me yesterday. First posting in this session. Yeah.
Never lied to you.
This is, oh.
Yeah.
What is what I said? Carl was very apologetic because I did put it on his calendar because he knew I had mediation all day. And I had talked to Josephine about Carl's gonna cover me. It's the first setting. And he got stuck. And didn't take care of me. Well, they don't happen when I'm covering. Just kidding. I like to give Carl a hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was stuck. That's just how it happens. Oh, yeah, I've met with her several times.
Oh.
I did a plea and pre-indictment report, and he signed the 187, but I didn't know he signed the 187, so I got the pre-indictment report. The file rejected it and said, I have to write 187 on the voucher, so I did.
Javier Villalba. Javier Arturo Villalba. All right. I think he's in the hallway or something. Okay.
Oh, there's an attorney who came in.
Hello. Hi. You have Javier?
Yes, Your Honor, I have a trial going on the next 30 minutes.
All right, so where is he? He stepped out.
He's in the, you can go get him.
All right, thank you.
You're sworn in from.
All right, come forward.
last week. So this is the old one. This is the new one. You have to re-swear in them.
Hello.
That is new.
Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. I promise you, I'm going to be practicing on how to say your last name. So I'm working on that.
Pretty simple. Just
Villalba?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I have.
see, Deputy Laura said it incorrectly. Villalba.
Yes.
I have restricted them
Yeah, I was in back.
to the state.
All right, counsel, how long is your jury trial? You think?
I don't know, Your Honor, I just got hired about, was it a month ago?
No, I mean your jury trial.
Oh, we picked the jury yesterday and hopefully it won't last more than 2 days. Hopefully,
All right.
today's Tuesday, so hopefully it wins. It's Wednesday.
All right,
Hopefully.
so Ms. Ferguson, can you recall this the week of April 21st, please?
Yes, ma'am, I can do the 22nd.
All right, so we'll be back here April 22nd. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Okay, I'm still confirmed with the DA, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Adam, here you go. Can you get your client to sign it and just bring it back to me?
So the jail is asking, you to set a court hearing for today. Don't you?
Here.
Running out, Mr. Huggins.
Christopher Beltran.
Kevin Huggins. Hello, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so guys, come on up. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. All right, so have you had a chance to confer with the state?
Your Honor, we haven't been able to access any of the discovery in this case.
All right, who's the prosecutor?
Spoken with Mr. Edelman. And so our plan is
All
to
right.
get them a hard drive
Okay.
and get the discovery transferred over to that.
What's with the issue with discovery?
It's uploaded, he can't access it. I told him to provide me with an extra hard drive, download all of the discovery, and transfer it to the hard drive so that he can.
All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
can you recall this for the week of the 21st, please? Next month, April 22nd?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Your Honor.
All right, just give me a moment and I'll tell you all what is happening. All right, Christopher Beltran, is he out here?
Yes.
All right, let's proceed.
Yeah.
Morning, Honor.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing all right, sometimes yourself.
Oh, I'm doing okay. I cannot complain.
Good.
All right. Court is calling 2019 CR 9959 State versus Christopher Daniel Beltran. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense.
Tony Hernandez on behalf of Mr. Beltran.
All right, the defense has filed a motion asking the court to reconsider and grant credit for time served spent in a substance abuse treatment facility and time spent in federal custody.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, so the time spent in federal custody, if this case was pending and if there was a warrant that was issued for the pendency, during the pendency of this case, and he was serving federal time, then I'll give him credit for that. If there was not a warrant in place, then the court is not going to give him credit. So the question becomes, what date was he in federal custody?
Judge, I've reviewed the judgment in his federal case, and it appears that he was, well, let's back up just a minute.
Okay.
There was a drug court warrant issued on March 24th of 2023.
Okay, March 24th, 2023.
Was the drug court warrant, yes.
Okay, drug court warrant.
Mr. Batran was arrested and placed in federal custody April 10th, 2023. An MTR warrant was issued June 22nd, 2023. And then he was booked into Bexar County January 14th of 2025.
All right, so with regards to the drug court warrant, the court will note, you're an officer of the court. The court will note it appears that the warrant you said was issued March 24th, 2023 from felony drug court?
March 24th, 2023, correct, Your Honor?
All right, and at that time when the warrant was issued,
It was.
he was not in custody?
He was not in custody, Judge. He was
So-
placed in federal custody April 10th, 2023.
All right, so he's in federal custody in April 10th, 2023. All right, state, with regards to federal time, beginning April 10th, 2023, do you have any objections? All right, and so when he had federal custody on April 10th, 2023, was a bond ever made on this case?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then the court is going to find that he's entitled to time beginning April 10th, 2023. All right, then the next.
Thank you,
is-
Judge.
All right. So anything else with regards to federal custody time?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then the next issue is you're requesting credit for time spent in a treatment substance facility. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. So this, it really determines on what successful completion means in the facility, because it's the court's understanding from hearing this case previously. Did he abscond from the halfway house?
He did, I believe, Your Honor.
All right, so then the question becomes, and it doesn't appear that the law is clear. What is successful completion? What does facility mean? Is the halfway house a part of their facility? Because it would appear to the court that when you're in the treatment facility, they send you to facilities that they have jurisdiction over as far as their program is concerned. So it would seem to the court that the halfway house is a part of the facility.
And Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
4203, Section 2A2 states that in all criminal cases, the judge of the court in which the defendant is convicted shall give the defendant credit on the defendant's sentence for the time that the defendant spent in a substance abuse treatment facility operated by the Texas Department of Criminal Justice under 493009 Government Code, or another court-ordered residential program or facility as a condition of further adjudication community supervision if the defendant successfully completes the treatment program. And then it says at that facility, Judge. The facility that he was sentenced to was a safety facility, which is part of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. He spent 2 trips over there. He went from July 1st, 2020 to December 29th, 2020, and he successfully completed the treatment program, the safety treatment program at that facility. He again went on August 19th, 2021 through January 27th, 2022 to the safety facility, which is again part of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice system. And he completed that program at that facility. The statute doesn't address any residential treatment facility because residential treatment facilities or aftercare treatment programs, and I think they refer to it as let me see. They refer to it as a different name, Judge, and importance of that, Your Honor, is that those aftercare treatment facilities may or may not be part of the TDC system, whereas safety is absolutely part of the TDC system. So when the statute addresses residential treatment under the government code and under the guidance of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, and then when it says at that facility, Judge, we would argue that it means the residential treatment facility that is actually safety, that is actually run by TDCJ.
All right, so do we know if the aftercare facility is under their umbrella or not?
We do not, Judge.
All right, state.
They court had ordered for the defendant to successfully complete aftercare. I mean, there are employees there that help the defendants when they come and go, and so.
And I think that's the primary difference, Judge. The aftercare facility, he can come and go based on whatever the personnel tells him he can do there. Safety itself is a lockdown facility. He has no choice. He cannot leave that facility. And I think that is one of the reasons why he should be given credit for that particular program. And I think that's the differentiation between the two programs. The statute clearly says at that facility, it doesn't say any subsequent facility. It doesn't address any subsequent facility whatsoever.
All right, anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, well, there has not been any evidence presented to the court that the aftercare facility is not a part of the criminal justice facility. For the court, the law is unclear as to what facility means. It appears from everything I've heard from both parties, SafeP ordered the defendant to a halfway house as a part of its continuing treatment. So the court is going to give you credit for the federal time beginning April 10th, 2023, which the state is agreeing to because a warrant was issued from the drug court on March 24th, 2023. And you were in federal custody beginning April 10th, 2023. So you will receive time beginning April 10th, 2023, and the clerks will make sure that he receives time for that. With regards to time for successful completion of SafeP, the court is finding that you did not successfully complete it. There's been no evidence presented to the court that and defense counsel has stated he's not aware if the aftercare facility is under the direction of SafeP, but based upon evidence that the court has received, SafeP is the facility, or the directors there did order you to the halfway house and you absconded from the halfway house. So the court is not finding that you successfully completed your inpatient treatment. So the court is not going to give you credit for SafeP time.
Judge, may I put one more thing on the record? Judge, in regards to the difference between the two facilities, the reason that, well, a potential difference between these two programs is that were he to have finished the aftercare treatment program through the SafeP program and then subsequently been revoked, the court's only authority would have been to give him credit for the time spent in the actual SafeP program. The court doesn't have authority to give him credit for the aftercare program, which is not a lockdown facility. So again, I think that's another distinction between the two facilities. And when the statute says at that facility, that's the only argument would be that the only facility that the statute can be speaking about is the actual TDC program, the SafeP program, and not the aftercare, as the court doesn't have authority to give aftercare credit.
All right. All right. Is there anything else?
No, yeah.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Judge. Maybe be excused.
Yes, but if you want to make sure that the clerks have the correct time
I
for
will.
him for the federal custody.
I will.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You need any dates? Yeah, he was booked into federal custody.
Yeah, they're coming on 1/14/25.
Right.
So I'm putting the date of 4/10/23 to 1/14/25. And that's 146 days.
Okay.
And then, compared to the 71 plus the previous credit that was given, we'll be adding the 646 to his current credit.
Okay, that was like 300 something.
So it's supposed to be sent to Kathy.
Need to send it to jail.
We have like 331 days.
Yeah, that's right.
Should have gone to Kathy.
177 days.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
No, I had him set up for my own Zoom at 10 o'clock. You get to be able to do it that way. Oh, well, he didn't. Yes. Also, I just have, I had filed. Good, sir. Discovering now.
So
Let me sign this as well.
this is the court's docket sheet. So every person listed there
The super fine
is supposed to be
thing.
in court today. And if they're in custody, then the deputies will bring them over. So this is the defendant's statement. This will tell you the type of hearing. Sometimes that's incorrect. So for example, this is saying that's a discovery hearing. So that means that they're coming in. And I want to make sure that the defense attorney has all the information about the case from the state. So if there was DNA testing, the defense would have access to that. If somebody made a statement, the defense should have access to that. And then here it will tell you who the attorney is. And it'll tell you if this person has any co-defendants. So you'll see, they're saying that he has a co-defendant. Sometimes this is
always something.
who are co-defendants who are not co-defendants, but you'll be able to tell normally this cause number. If there were co-defendants, usually they'll have a letter by A, B, C, or D. It would be the same number, but it'll have a letter at the end, and that'll tell you, hey, this person has a co-defendant. And then,
What the hearing that was on right now?
yeah.
Okay.
The other part of the docket is the probation docket. Ms. Avery, she's the one who is our probation officer for this court. And probation is people have pled to the case or they went to a jury trial and the jury said, group probation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If someone goes to a jury trial and the jury said they want them to have probation, if I were to think that person really shouldn't get probation, this is not a probation case, then my hands are tied. I have to give them probation because that's what the jury wanted. The only thing the court is in charge of when somebody goes to jury trial is your conditions of probation. So how often you report, if you need to do classes, if you can do jail time as a condition. And so the court can sentence you when you're on probation and felony court. The court can sentence you up to 180 days in jail before you even start your probation as a condition of probation. Now, sometimes cases don't go to jury trial. They'll do a plea agreement. And then I will read the documents to see if I think the plea that they've reached is appropriate or not. And if I do, then I'll follow whatever their agreement is, but I'll get to determine how long the person is on probation. They can recommend and say, Judge, we really think this person should only be on probation for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I may say, no, they should be on probation for 4 years. Or sometimes the state may say, I think this person should be on probation for 6 years. And I may say, no, this person should only be on probation for 3 years. So those are decisions that I make.
As we speak.
And I make decisions of
Very much, man.
all of the conditions. The only thing that I don't make a decision on really is if their agreement is that person is to have probation, I can't say, all right, I know they agreed for you to have probation. That's what you signed up to, but surprise, I'm sending you to prison for 5 years. That's not me following the plea bargain agreement. Either I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to follow your agreement and give you probation. Or either I'm going to tell them, I'm not following your agreement. I'm not going to give you probation. So y'all need to step back and maybe renegotiate.
Oh,
And,
sure.
so when we do jury trial, because we're gonna have a jury come up here at about 11, what ends up happening is this entire gallery is filled with people who are potential jurors.
Sure.
And they've already been vetted downstairs that they make the basic qualification for being a juror. And on this side, you're gonna have the state. On this side, you're gonna have the defense, and sitting with the defense is going to be their client. And in this box, ultimately, when a jury is selected, it's gonna be filled with jurors. And they're just gonna hear the evidence, and if they can reach a decision, they're gonna decide if somebody's guilty or not guilty. And then we have the court reporter. This is what I tell everybody. There's a shortage of court reporters. Court reporters make approximately $150,000 a year. That doesn't even include when they have to produce records, because when somebody's placed on probation, or if somebody goes to jury trial and they lose and they say, you know what? We want an appeal. The appeal, they'll need her record. So everything that she took down during the trial, she has to reproduce that.
That's a good one to
They're
have.
allowed to charge for that because that's her work product. So there's a sign outside, a QR code. Take a photo if you know somebody. The only thing is, it depends on your level of accuracy, how long it takes you to become a court reporter. All right, see, right now I have this case. It's unlawfully carrying a weapon case. They've applied for probation. In this packet, it's going to be all of their admonishments, which is what the law, what rights they're giving up. And then it's going to be all the police reports attached to it, so that I can read it and see if there's enough evidence that they actually committed the offense beyond a reasonable doubt. So we're going to take this up next, and everything that I say, you'll be able to see it maybe on her screen. She's going to take down. Yes.
Has he logged in yet?
No, he has not.
Okay.
So
So
if
there was
you'll,
a little bit of a issue with getting, with communicating it.
all right, get him logged in.
But he's supposed to have all the, they're supposed to have all the information now.
Okay.
So hopefully they'll get him logged.
All right, thank you. Who is here on Angel Placencia?
I am, Your Honor, we're ready.
All right, if you'll come forward, please. So I'm going to call the style of the case, and the style of the case is the case number, who is the defendant, and who all the parties are. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 011483, State versus Angel Placencia. Can I have parties announced?
Joseph Dateson for defendant.
And are you Mr. Placencia?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Placencia, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No objection.
All right. Did you review the admonishments with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of unlawfully carrying of a weapon as a Class A misdemeanor? The range of punishment is up to a $4,000 fine and up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to a $4,000 fine and 1 year in the Bexar County Jail? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Placencia, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of unlawfully carrying of a weapon. They're requesting an $800 fine and recommending deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, community service restitution hours, no contact with SAISD properties, and there is to be no possession of firearm. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the lesser included offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No.
State any evidence?
No objection.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, if I may add something.
Yes.
My client resides with his mother. And he has accepted a job in Wilson County. He's going to be moving to Wilson County. He's asking for probation to be transferred to Wilson County with your permission.
All right, how old are you?
18.
All right, did you graduate from high school?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, why did you do something so silly?
I was just being stupid.
But why?
Poor decisions.
Well, but of all the things that you could do, one, why are you posing with a weapon? Why do people think that's cool?
I feel like I just see everybody else think it's cool and I'm very stubborn. I could get really hard-headed sometimes.
Mhm.
And I try to fit in with the crowd. And really, I wasn't raised that way. My mother raised me on different principles and my father raised me on different principles. And with time, I feel like I eventually did learn that that's not the way I was raised at all.
Yeah, I don't know why people want to follow people or fit into a group. Sometimes it's great not to fit in a group. Yeah. What's the saying, in a world where you can be anything, be a unicorn? Yeah. So stand out. Then people will remember you, but not for the wrong reasons.
Yes, ma'am.
So what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life as far as employment?
Like as in employment,
Mhm.
I wanted to join the military. It's actually been like a goal of mine since I was like a very little kid.
Mhm.
But right now I'm in the old folks and
because I was gonna go into the military, to the army, and I was gonna get my hazmat, my CDO,
Mhm.
and my hazards license. And I was gonna do a few years or even like 6 or so, like gain a lot of experience and then get out of the military and have a hazmat, like driving trucks, because that's what my father does.
Mhm.
And eventually I do want to start a business with him, where we have our own contracting business with 4 trucks. Basically, we just own our own truck company and we get
But
hired.
let me ask you this. What is your dream job right now?
The military.
All right, so this is what the court will do. If you are in the military and this is holding you back and he signs the paperwork to go to the military, I'll terminate him. All right?
Yes.
Because this could have turned out so differently, but I don't think this is an offense that should necessarily stop you from going to the military if that's what you want to do. So if you want to go to the military, I'm sure the states will have no objections to terminating you early. Then you will be in the military. You understand?
Yes.
All right, this is what the court will do. The court will sentence you to 2 years deferred adjudication. There's to be no possession of firearms. And I know in the military, you'll need to possess firearms. So if he's accepted into the military and he signs on the dotted line, then I will terminate him.
Yes, Judge.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Negative.
There's to be proof of employment within 30 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be 80 hours of community service restitution. If you obtained a CDL or some type of higher level education or a trade school certification, the court will deem this community service hours satisfied. There's to be no contact with SAISD properties. So that means school activities, you're not allowed to go. However, do you have any siblings?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you have a sibling who's in school and I don't know, they're having a track meet or there's some event or graduation at the school, just let me know.
Yes, Judge.
There'll be a transfer to Wilson County. There's an $800 fine and that will be probated. And Miss Abrams, I'm gonna order a gun safety course for him. Probation, is there anything else that he needs?
No, Judge.
Is there anything else that you need from the court to be successful? I'm sorry?
Oh, no.
Right.
Your Honor, I had asked him to take a gun safety class prior to the plea. He actually did finish it. Would he be given credit for that certificate of completion for the class?
Yes, as long as it was completed after this incident.
Yes, it was completed within the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
All right, yes.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. You're young. Here's the thing. Everything that you do in life, before you do it, you know what you need to ask yourself. What's the downsides to my doing this? Is this something that's going to impact me? And by all means, do not put anything in writing that you do not want the entire world to read, because the entire world may read it, or your mom may read it, or your dad may read it. And if it helps you or you're confused, should I do something or should I not? Just think about your mom and dad and think, Am I doing something to make them proud of me? You understand? And if the answer is no, don't do it. And if you still have questions, pick up the phone, call your mom and dad for advice. You understand? All right, good luck to you. If you need anything, you can always come back to court and let me know. And I'm serious, if he signs up for the
Yes, Judge.
military, then I will terminate him early.
Which I was already in the process too. Like we're currently going to the recruiting office
Okay.
and I do have a recruiter that I talk to.
Well, I tell you what, if you're serious about it, and if that, and I'm not pushing you either way, but if that's something that you want to do, if they have a concern about this offense, you can let them know that I've already spoke to the judge and the judge said that she will terminate me early if you all are accepting me.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. Have a good day and thanks for dressing appropriately for court.
Yes.
I'll call you.
Yeah, I know.
Take that. Thank you.
Medina County Jail.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and who is that?
Gabriel Diaz.
All right, could I see the following, Gabriel? All right, thank you. And what page is Placencia?
Sentencing?
Yes, Placencia, what page was he on?
Page 2.
All right, thank you. All right, who is here on Gabriel Diaz? All right, so sometimes what will end up happening is there are persons who are in custody in a different county, and it costs less just to have them zoom in as opposed to having them brought to this county and then go back to a different county. All right. And counsel, so he needs a bond set in all cases?
That's right, Judge. There are 4 cases pending here in your court that we need to approach regarding these bonds.
All right. Court is calling 2024 CR 010149, 2024 CR 010131, 2024 CR 010128, 2024 PF 01633, State versus Gabriel Diaz. Can I have parties announced for the record?
John Winter for the defendant.
All right, and are you Mr. Diaz?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Diaz, you have a right to appear in person in court as opposed to appearing by Zoom. Do you have any objections to appearing by Zoom?
No.
All right, defense, do you have any objection to your client appearing by Zoom?
No, Your Honor.
All right, defense, you filed a motion to set bond in each of these cause numbers. State, have you had an opportunity to review the defendant's motion? Right, and have you all reached an agreement? All right, and it's the agreement that is listed on the documents for the court. It appears that in cause number 2024 CR 010131, the charge is evading arrest, detention with a vehicle, and you all have agreed to a $10,000 bond. Is that correct?
Basically, what we agreed to was doubling the bond. So I think the original bond was $10,000, Your Honor.
Yes.
And so what our agreement is the $20,000 bond for 01031.
All right, so you've agreed to a $20,000 bond?
But if you want to set it at 10,000,
No.
we're okay with that.
It's because this is what it was written on the document.
Oh, I think what I Oh, those are the original bonds, Judge.
All
Yes,
right.
those are.
All right, and then, and cause number ending in 010149. What is the agreement?
That's correct.
And in the cause number ending in 128,
10,000.
That is correct.
and in the cause number ending in 633.
6,000.
That's also correct.
All right. All right. State, are you requesting any other conditions to be added to the bond?
Not at this time.
All right, thank you, State. You may be excused. Mr. Diaz, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
You can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Gabriel Diaz.
All right, Mr. Diaz, the question I'm going to ask you relates to what conditions I will set for your bond. How long have you been in custody at Medina County Jail?
I've been here for a week and I've been in another county for a week too, so 2 weeks in custody total, 1
Yeah.
week here.
All right. And since you've been there, are you in any type of special unit? Have you been to see a doctor while you've been there?
No, ma'am.
All right. Have you previously been on any type of medication for mental health?
Adderall.
All right. Anything other than Adderall?
No. I'm not sure because my mom would do everything for me.
Okay.
So
And how old are you?
22.
And how far did you go in school?
I completed school.
All right. And did you receive any type of special classes while you were in school?
Yeah.
Okay. And have you ever seen a psychiatrist before?
No.
And in the past, have you ever used any type of controlled substances or drugs other than Adderall?
No.
Have you ever used any type of illegal substances, marijuana, methamphetamine, cocaine, anything else?
No.
Okay. All right. So this is what the court will do. Let's see. Oh, and I'm sorry, counsel. He's in other counties and has been transferred to other counties. Why is that?
So the reason why there was a bond forfeiture was because of a failure to appear in this court.
Mhm.
And he also had a case in Medina County and had a failure to appear there. The reason for that was that he went to Mexico to visit an ailing relative. It was your aunt, right? Or
My grandma.
your grandmother. And so, of course, coming back, he had the warrants. They arrested him. Where did they arrest you? In Laredo?
At the bridge.
In Laredo?
At the American side of the bridge.
Was that in Laredo or another town?
It was in Eagle Pass.
Eagle Pass. And so they arrested him there and confined him in the county jail there, which is.
Because my grandma passed away.
Yeah.
All right. All right. This is what the court is going to do. And counsel, there are no orders attached, but I'll write the order.
Okay.
All right. And cause number 2024 PF 01633. The court will follow your agreement. The court will set the bond at $6,000. And I am going to do a,
Oh, Judge, I have orders if you'd like.
oh, yes, please.
Right.
And it's going to include a referral to Center for Healthcare Services. And regular UAs waive the fees.
Very good, Judge. The PF one is on top.
And what is the charge out of the other county council?
That is possession, penalty group 1. I believe 2 to 400.
Okay. And in cause number 2024 CR 010149, the court is going to follow your agreement and the court will set the bond at $20,000. There's going to be regular UAs, waive fees. And in cause number 2024 CR 010128, the court will follow your agreement, set your bond at $10,000. There's going to be regular UAs, waive fees. And in cause number 2024 CR 010131, the court will follow your agreement, set your bond at $20,000. There's to be regular UAs, waive fees, a referral to Center for Healthcare Services. There's going to be partial GPS for medical appointments.
Will he be allowed to work,
And-
Judge?
If he has employment, you'll have to bring that back to me if he has employment.
Okay, Judge.
And waive GPS fees. Counsel, is there anything else with regards to the bond matter?
That's all for Judge. I think that's it.
All right, and then the next thing, where are we on well, he has a plea deadline date. Ms. Ferguson? On this case, if you'll set it for the week of April 21st, please. All right, April 22nd is going to be your plea deadline date.
Okay, Judge.
All right, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor, that's all.
All right, then, Mr. Diaz, you are excused. Medina County Jail, thank you.
See you soon, Gabriel.
See you soon, sir. Thank you.
Your Honor.
You're welcome.
20 seconds of your time, not work related.
All right, yes. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, let me ask you this. You know, I'm going to be greedy now.
You need more?
2 more for my 2 students.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. I love it. Yeah. So you will have, this will be your first Fiesta medal.
I didn't bring it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so my Fiesta medals will not be in until the beginning of the month, but I'll make sure that you all receive some. Yes, I do. So it just hasn't come in yet. But hers is a play on Wicked, so.
Okay.
Yes, I will. Oh, I saw that one.
Oh, yeah, no, he has some. Okay.
Yeah, can I get the file on Parra, please?
Yeah. No, I love your hair. Love it.
It's a probation, like compliance, I guess, case. Please.
We'll just come back and use the revision. She wants to know when she's gonna be transferred.
Yes. Yes, there is one, if you go to the back hallway, just go out this door and go down this hallway and you'll see a female restroom and it's on this side. You're welcome. Don't talk to strangers. See how I threw that in there and I was very firm.
Or Priscilla Para. You want me to go tell Jen about it? Yeah, no worries. Yeah, let me go. Is it okay if I close her? I'll be right back.
I'm gonna do my best to decide. It won't even bother me. That's I never know Jesus, but it's the first time. If I'm using 25, which never gets where are they? They are not here. So I think they don't care. Right? They don't get to go. I'm trying to say your mind. I would have much rather been here yesterday than the mediation I was at. It was awful. All my client demonstrated and cruel. Divorce studies. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. All right, who's here? Michael Keaton?
I am, Your Honor. Present, Judge. Do we approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi, you're on this side.
I am on the side. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You want?
Where's your client?
Michael. Right here, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
All right, so on this case, where are we on discovery?
We received a discovery, Your Honor, and he received his indictment today.
All right, State, were you able to tender an offer today or no?
There's an offer in the file, Judge.
Okay. How old are you?
38.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a plea deadline date in 3 weeks, please.
What date?
Oh, we're gonna find
16th
out.
April.
April 15th, Judge.
Oh, up.
Yes.
I have a court setting out of county that day, Judge. Can we do it on the 6th, earlier, the 14th, perhaps?
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you put this on April 14th? All right, your plea deadline date is April 14th, and you need to make sure that you're on time. You understand?
Yeah.
All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Just have a seat. Your attorney will bring the reset form. Once you sign that, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate your consideration, Your
You're
Honor.
welcome.
Oh, yeah. You say Italian on the bottom of it.
All right, thank you.
Could be Irish.
But it could be wrong. It could be, would you want that to even possibly be?
Why not?
I'm asking this. I see.
See what I mean?
You occupying time here, we wanna.
No, I'm signing mine. I'm saying.
I need, you want this case number here? It's an inmate, can we give him a court date? He doesn't have one.
All right, William Harper.
Yes, Judge, we're ready.
Oh, not too bad. He was like 2 weeks ago. That's fine with me. What day? Let me check my calendar. Is that April 1st day?
All right, so it's the court's understanding that you're requesting to go to prison and just do your prison time?
Well, originally I wanted to see how much time I would have to do. I talked to a recruiter and they said I would be able to get a moral conduct waiver to join the Navy.
Mhm.
So I was trying to see the quickest way that I could get off probation to go to the Navy.
All right, have you signed up for the Navy?
He pretty much told me I would need to get off of probation first.
Oh, no. So this is what you need to tell him. Tell him you need to sign on the dotted line, because you know what I know with the military? Once you sign on the dotted line, come back and say, I've changed my mind. So you tell him, is there any restitution owed in this case, Ms. Abrams? No restitution? All right, so there's no restitution. So you tell the recruiter, I said, once you sign on the dotted line and they say they're going to accept you, then I will let you off of probation.
Gonna go today.
All right.
I talked with him, Your Honor. Tell him about early termination possibility. Yeah, he finished a lot of classes previously, but he will become homeless shortly. He has to go to Dallas with his mother. His mom is relocating, so could you transfer probation to Dallas in the meantime?
All right, Ms. Abrams. He's saying he needs to go to Dallas, and I'm so sorry, allergy are acting up. Why do you need to go to Dallas?
My mother's moving to Dallas. She got a new job
Okay,
and I'm still staying with her.
okay. All right, he can transfer to Dallas, but yeah, if you want to go to the Navy, I'm not encouraging either way, but if that is what you want to do, you tell the recruiter that once you have signed on the dotted line and that recruiter gives me a letter saying you have signed on the dotted line, they're accepting you, I will terminate your probation.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna go today. I'm gonna go talk to you.
Thank you. And thank you for dressing appropriately for court. And here's the thing, everybody is saying they want to sign up for military. So this is what I can tell you. Don't do something just so you can avoid consequences. If you really want to be in the military and that has always been your dream, then go for it. But if your whole thing is, I really don't want to do this probation, let me sign up for something else, because let me just tell you, once you sign up for the military, you're in the military and they tell you what to do from sun up to sundown. They used to do those commercials where they say, what is it, before you wake up at 6 a.m., we've already completed a day. But that is exactly the way it's run, because I have a lot of family members who are in the military. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, yes.
I do want to make you aware that the probation officer is actually watching the hearing right now.
Mhm.
She says that Mr. Harper has been a good probationer, no issues.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sure. So remember what I said. 1, I will grant your transfer to Dallas. Number 2, if you want to be in the Navy, this will not stop you just let your recruiter know, and counsel, you can let his recruiter know that my thing is, once he's signed and they said, we have accepted him, I will terminate him, and I will terminate you satisfactorily because it appears that you're doing great. All right, do you need anything?
Retire in the Navy, that's my goal.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Do you need anything else from the court? See, this is what I mean. Communication is key. All right, just speak with probation before you leave, then you're excused.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And Mr. Stateson, Dallas is Dallas County.
Let me. It's a terrible.
All right. It would be so much easier if people would just name their counties after whatever city you're in.
City.
There you go. So I'm just gonna say transfer to Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
Whatever that county is.
Sure.
Yeah. You're that wonderful.
Johnny Ruiz.
Morning.
Good morning. And this is the sentencing, correct? All right, so, excuse me. So this is the sentencing. What ends up happening is someone has entered into a plea bargain agreement and probation will prepare a pre-sentence investigation report. It's just it's the person's entire background, the criminal history, if they have any. And then the state or the defense will get a chance to present whatever witnesses or evidence they want presented. All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 007421 State versus Johnny Ruiz Jr. Can I have parties announced for the record? State. Defense.
Ray Lopez for the defense.
And are you Mr. Ruiz?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered a plea on January 28th of no contest to the offense of collision involving death. According to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 10 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. The state is opposed to your applications, and there's to be restitution to the next of kin of the deceased. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state? Defense?
No, Your Honor.
Any witnesses, state? Defense, any witnesses?
To Your Honor, my client and his employer, who's going to be very brief.
Oh, well, it can take as long as it takes, but.
Two witnesses.
All right, who would you like to call, counsel?
I'll call Mr. Reese.
All right, Mr. Ruiz, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
It's Johnny Reese Jr.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. So you're here today asking the court for probation, is that correct?
Yes.
Can you tell the court in your own words kind of what happened that day of the incident?
I had just gotten off of work that day. Went to a friend of mine's. We were supposed to catch up on a video game. That's what we did most of the night. From there, we got something to eat before we got any later, anything closed down. We ended up getting some Fred's fish that day. No, I believe they took a little bit longer. I fell asleep on a nap waiting for them. From by the time they got back, I noticed it was already late. Got some ice, you know what they brought. From there, I took off home, or where we were staying at, where I was staying at. And during that moment, something happened and ended up. Sorry. Noticed I had hit something. Wasn't too sure what it was. The fact that it was dark that in that area. Drove a little bit further down, stopped. Before I saw light, I believe there was a hotel there. Figured maybe I'd stop there just in case he did see anything or anything happen. I was able to offer help, off the horn, something. Rolled my window down, I didn't see anything. Didn't see nothing. I didn't hear nobody. Assuming that, you know, may have struck an animal or something. So I left. Got to where I was staying at, and you know, I saw there was damage on the windshield, of course. I didn't see anything, you know, that indicated that there's a person, a dog, an animal. I'm pretty sure if I would have hit an animal or something, I would have saw blood or whatever the case is. But didn't see anything that I figured. I was like, maybe somebody threw something in my car or something. I mean, if there was nothing wrong, you know. That's when I started thinking negative, and you know, and I would have stopped there, something would happen to me. Somebody did throw something in my car. At that point, I figured this, you know, that I would have been okay. I mean, I didn't see nobody. Next morning, I knocked on the door. It was a detective and told me that there had been an accident. And I might have been involved in something, you know, an accident that happened down the street. You know, I just couldn't believe it. It just said it was an accident under a person. I asked, was everything okay? Were they okay? The detective assured me that the person was fine. I picked him up. He was in the hospital. That he was going to be fine. Except they took me in that day as well. So just, I guess, to the interrogation room or wherever they take me. They just asked me what happened that night. Same thing that I'm saying now. From that point, I mean, like I said, the detective assured me that he was going to be fine. He was okay. They just needed to find out what happened. Also told me that, you know, he was in the wrong because he was in the street. You know, as far as what he told me, well, I didn't see who it was or what it was. He told me that, you know, it was a person. It was, which is upset me. I just wouldn't think in my right mind it would have been somebody there walking in the middle, you know, dark that late.
So when did you come to learn that the person that you hit in the collision ultimately passed away?
It wasn't until a few months later. I had learned that he passed away 2 weeks after he'd been struck.
And how do you feel about, can you tell us what your mind was going through when you learned that information?
Horrible. I gotta live with
I'm sorry, what?
something that I have to live with. It's a terrible feeling.
Do you still think about it to this day?
Think about it every day. Every day. Can't go to sleep. There's times when I stay up till 4, 5 in the morning. I gotta go to work the next day. I gotta work through it. It bothers me every day.
Why do you feel that you're a good candidate for probation?
I have a family. I mean, I have my kids. I have an obligation to support my kids. I love them a lot. After being away from them, not being able to help them, provide food. You know, I've tried to, but the state as well, asked them, is there any way they can pay any type of restitution? You know, as well, you know, kind of take responsibility for what's going on. And for me to, for the court to grant me probation, I can continue to do my best to, you know, to work.
Now, have you been employed? How long have you been employed for?
For the past year, I think we started in February. So it's a little over a year already.
And where are you employed at?
It's a company, it's a landscaping company.
And do you know if you'll be able to continue your employment after, if you get put on probation?
Yes. Sure I will.
And aside from your children, do you have any other family members that you're helping to they rely on you?
Well, I mean, at the time, right now, it's, you know, my kids, my mother's sick, other than that, you know, she's disabled, so. I mean, I'd really like to get to be more involved with her as well.
And have you had any criminal, have you ever been arrested in the past 20 years?
No.
And you
I've
haven't,
never been arrested.
and how old are you?
38 years old.
Okay, so you had a few incidences when you were a minor.
Well, I believe so. I think it was, I think in middle school. No, there was one incident that I went to juvie for a day or so. I can't remember how long it was.
But since you've been an adult, you have not had any issues with the law until
No.
this incident. Last witness.
Any questions?
Yes, Judge. So Mr. Ruiz, at the time of the offense, you were staying at a roadway inn that was located on Enrique Barrera Parkway, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and so the accident happened somewhere on Old Highway 90, is that correct?
Yes.
And so those locations are kind of close to each other, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you kind of give me an idea? You said that you stopped at a hotel. Did you stop at the roadway inn or a different hotel?
Well, I mean, where I was staying, I can't remember what it was called. I think there's several hotels that were there. I stopped at the very first one. Like I said, where I saw that there was some kind of light. It was dark in that area.
Okay, so you stopped at a different hotel, not the hotel that you were staying at.
No. Stopped at a different hotel. Yes.
Okay, thank you. And so regarding your vehicle is a relatively small vehicle, correct?
Yeah.
It was a smart passion, like a smart car, is that correct? Okay, and so it had a good amount of damage to it, wouldn't you agree with me? So it had the broken windshield concentrated on the passenger side, right?
Yeah.
And then it also had passenger side body damage, correct? And then the broken or the headlight on the passenger side was also broken. And then the passenger side mirror was also missing. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Okay. And so in the PSI and in your testimony today, you said that there's a lot of dogs in the area. Is that correct? Okay. And so you said possibly you thought that you hit a dog.
Yes.
The evidence that I've seen in the case suggests to me that when the complainant was hit, the body flew up onto the windshield, causing that impact. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And so if you were to hit a dog, obviously a dog is not as tall as a human, right? And so if you were to hit a dog, you would have felt the impact of rolling over the dog, right?
Possible, but for that type of vehicle, and it's so low to the ground and tiny, anything hits that windshield goes up.
Okay.
Because it's such an incline, that smart car.
So you think it's possible if you would have hit a dog that the dog also would have flew up onto the,
As well.
okay. And so then I have some other questions. So you said the first time that you learned that you were involved in a collision involving a person was when the detective came to the hotel. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And before the detective took you downtown to take a statement from you, he kind of spoke to you at your hotel room, right?
Yeah.
And so when he was speaking to you at that point, you told him that you believe that the damage to your vehicle was caused by a tree that had fell on the vehicle, right? Okay. And so you weren't forthcoming with him at that time, right? Okay. And regarding who is Cecilia Rodriguez?
That was supposed to be my wife or my ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
At this time.
And is she the mother of one of your children?
Yes.
Okay. And so she has no reason to say anything false against you, right?
She should.
Okay. And she was staying with you at the roadway and at that time, right? All right. And so Cecilia stated that she confronted you. So Cecilia noticed the damage, right, that night?
No, she didn't go out that night. She didn't see nothing that night.
Was it in the morning that
It
she
was in
saw
the
it?
morning.
Okay. And so when she sees the damage to the vehicle, she confronts you about it and you tell her you don't know what happened, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then she stated that based on what she saw, she believed that you hit something, right?
I don't know exactly what she said. No.
Okay. So if that evidence is stipulated too, so I'll just move on. But Cecilia also stated that she believed that you looked inebriated on that day when you returned to the hotel room that night. Were you under the influence of alcohol or drugs?
No.
Why would Cecilia say that?
I'm not too sure, to be honest with you, because she wasn't even present of anything. You know, when I walked in trying to figure out what was going on. I undressed myself and got into, you know, my sleep clothes. I didn't really even talk to her that much. I mean, when I got there, she was already asleep. When I, you know, you got a key card to walk in. So she was asleep. Like I don't see why she would say.
Okay, and then who's Edward Vargas?
That's a friend of mine that was, well, at the time was a friend. He was in the vehicle as well.
Okay, and so does he have any reason to say anything false against you? Okay, so my question is, why would Edward Vargas and Cecilia Rodriguez say that you told both of them that you saw something on the news regarding a hit and run?
That was afterwards.
That was in the morning, right?
Yeah, that was in the morning.
Before the police showed up at your hotel?
Like,
Okay, so you had some knowledge of what was going on, correct?
yes.
All right, and just going back to Cecilia, she stated that you stated to her that you hit someone, and when you told her that, she rolled back over and went into bed.
I didn't talk to her as much as, you know, she was already in bed when I got there.
Okay, so all those other facts are correct. She was at the hotel room, she was in bed, she was asleep, she woke up briefly, but just not what you said.
Yes.
It's not.
Understand how something like that would come about.
Okay.
I mean, when I got to the hotel, they were asleep. She was asleep. kid, my son was asleep.
Mhm. Then later on, when you are talking with the detective, you state that you were driving the vehicle on the night of the offense and that you swerved to avoid hitting something on the side of the road and didn't stop, correct?
Yes.
But you were driving that vehicle that night, correct? You were the one that was involved in the collision that caused the death, correct?
Yes.
And you weren't exactly forthcoming in the investigation, right?
And at the time when he asked me these questions, I didn't know where he was going with it. So there might have been a little defense on my end, yes.
Okay. And then I know you said to this court that the court should grant you probation because you have family and kids that you have to provide for. I mean, do you think that's fair? The victim has kids that he can't provide for or be there for. Do you think that is fair?
I was of the understanding that he didn't have any kids.
Well, he does, and they're here today. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Any further questions?
None of this witness, Your Honor.
All right, you may call your next witness.
Call Mr. Fajardo.
Oh, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record. All right, defense, you may proceed.
Sir, how do you know Mr. Ruiz?
He's been working for me for a little bit over a year.
And how is he employed? In what manner of work?
He's it's a landscape company, landscape and irrigation company. He works in one of the crews.
Okay, and how have you known him to be as a person while he's been under your employment for the past year and however?
It's been 13 months, so since he's been honest, reliable, he goes to probation and he comes back to work the same day, 9:30, the latest, still time.
Okay. Will he continue, if he is granted probation, will he continue to be employed through your company?
Yes, sir.
And if he is granted probation, are you willing to work with him to have him do whatever classes, community service hours, whatever conditions the court imposes? Are you willing to work with the schedule so that those can be, he can complete those?
Yes, sir.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Any questions?
No, Judge.
All right, thank you so much for coming down. All right, Mr. Ruiz. I just have a few questions if there are no
Yes, ma'am.
objections. All right, so in the stipulations, when the officer comes to the hotel, you say that you said that a tree caused the damage to your vehicle?
Yes.
All right, so you're saying you thought that or what?
Well,
Did a tree fall on your vehicle?
No.
So why did you think a tree caused damage to your vehicle?
At that time at night, I felt like when I didn't see anything that the next morning was.
No, I'm just wondering,
I didn't know what he was going with it, Your Honor. I thought maybe I was, at that point getting blamed for something else that I.
So did you know a tree had not fallen on your vehicle or caused damage to your vehicle?
Yes, it didn't.
So you knew that it wasn't a tree? I need yes or no?
Yes.
All right, and then according to the stipulations, there were 2 pedestrians in the roadway. So did you see any of those pedestrians? And then it states that this Rodriguez person, they're stating in the stipulations that you stated you did a hit and run and that you hit somebody and then you rolled over and went back to sleep. So did you ever tell that person you hit someone?
No.
So why would they say that?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't speak to her that night. When I got there, she was angry because I got there late. But as far as physically talking to her, like I said, she was already in bed. My son was already asleep.
All right, thank you. All right, any further questions?
No question, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to find you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 10 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $2,000 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. there's to be restitution to Francisco Aldaco, and that is to be payable to his next of kin, which is Juanita Aldaco. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. Anytime that somebody does time in prison or Bexar County Jail or in custody is a lot of time. But you still have more of your life in front of you to be a better person. You understand? All right.
Judge, we have victim impact.
All right. So what's going to end up happening is someone's going to speak to you. Just internalize what's being said, okay?
Judge, we would ask the court to maintain jurisdiction over this, see if we come back in 6 months.
No. All right. Thank you. All right. You may proceed.
Picture two kids. Little girl is it good? To the right side of me. Please don't put me. Every night we talk about you. You know, he never judged anybody. He was my best friend. The love of my life. He was a great father. My kids and him shared an incredible bond. The loss of a son, the loss of any family member, is the worst pain in any church. My kids were nothing to.
All right. Thank you. Harold Riley. Harold Riley.
Yes, Judge.
All right. No gum chewing. All right. Surrender the gum. No, well, we were always told don't swallow gum. It will mess with your intestines.
Right.
I don't know if it's true, but I've been terrified ever since, so I just don't do it. All right, so where are we on discovery?
Judge, this is the first setting. We do have discovery. I'm not sure if we're missing anything at this point.
All right, was an offer tendered?
Yes, Judge.
All right, and sir, how old are you? All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you can set this in 3 weeks for a plea deadline date, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we do a little bit after that?
The 17th?
The 17th works.
All right, your plea deadline date will be April 17th. Your attorney will explain to you what that means, and you need to make sure that you're on time next time. You understand?
Were you late for me? Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Once you sign the reset form, you excuse.
Okay.
Ray Delarosa. Yes. Are you all ready to proceed?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 007567 State versus Ray Delarosa. Can I have parties announced?
Andrew Harris Adelman for the state.
Attorney John Garcia for defendant, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Delarosa?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your clients?
I did, Your Honor.
Court will find the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Delarosa, did you review the community supervision application with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge. In the second paragraph, state moves to orally amend 13th of February 2009 to 13th of March 2007.
Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Delarosa, do you understand that's a substantive change to the indictment? And with that substantive change, your attorney has 10 days to prepare for trial? And do you wish to proceed? All right. Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? You're charged with driving while intoxicated, third or more. That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering into this plea, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor, he was.
Mr. Delarosa, has anyone threatened you, forced you, or placed you in fear to get you to end this plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison and the state recommends community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 6 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 20 hours of community service restitution, 2-year driver's license suspension, and 10 days in the Bexar County Jail as a condition. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
Contained in Exhibit 1 and attachments, Judge.
Your Honor, I went over those documentation with my client. We have no objections.
All right, state, you may be excused.
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State Exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yeah, additionally, Your Honor, since my client has been under supervision of the court, he's done everything the court has asked him to do, what the court has asked. Additionally, there was a period of time where he was in Bear County Jail for 42 days. We're asking if he can get credit for that for the 10 days.
Mhm.
If not, if he could be placed under house arrest for the 10 days. He's been on a monitor and he's been monitored by the court and he has said has no violations since that time.
All right. Are you employed?
Disabled.
All right. And what is your disability?
Vision, my blood pressure, diabetes.
All right. So when did the vision happen?
5 years ago.
All right. That 5 years ago. And this is 2024 offense date.
I believe so, yeah.
All right, you shouldn't be driving then.
No.
So I'm gonna order no driving, and if you want your driver's license restored, you'll need to go to municipal court and you'll need to have a doctor verify that legally you're allowed to drive as far as your vision is concerned. So the court is going to sentence you to 6 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 6 years. There's regular reporting by Zoom or in person, 2-year driver's license suspension, DWI education, VIP live, a referral to felony drug court, and a TAP evaluation, follow recommendations, regular random UAs. There's to be no driving until cleared by medical professional. And for the record, that's due to his vision. There's to be ignition interlock until further notice. 20 days GPS in lieu of 10 days in the Bexar County Jail. And that will be full GPS. Waive fees. Field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. 80 hours of community service restitution. Proof of employment or disability within 45 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And 120 sober meetings in 120 days. And that can begin after the 20-day GPS. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
Okay.
Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
Just additionally, Your Honor, I had put in the motion for the waiver of the DPS fees.
Oh, I granted the waiver of GPS.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. All right.
Yeah.
All right, who is here on Malachi Bacham? All right, if you can come.
It says probation.
All right, if you have your client come down. Court is calling 2025 CR 0000447, State versus Malachi Bacham. Could I have parties announced?
Megan Galloway for the state.
Michael Bellama for Mr. Bacham.
And are you Mr. Bacham?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
18.
All right. And this is an application probation. Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes.
Sir, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Great.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Judge.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Judge.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Judge, I understand.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes,
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
yes,
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
yes, I do.
Mr. Bacham, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promise you anything other than the plea?
Okay.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Judge.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at an $800 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration 2025 PF 02927, and there's the restitution and no contact with the complainant. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Defense is at the plea?
Yes,
State?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
no, ma'am.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation, community service restitution, and no contact with the complainant. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Judge.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plea? State, any evidence?
State offers states one in attachments.
No objections.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Judge.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Judge.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand? The court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just ask that you follow the plea bargain, ma'am. He has expressed to me a desire to possibly enter the military when this is over. I explained to him about the non-disclosure. I don't believe he's talked to any recruiters yet, but he has hoped that this will not prevent him from entering.
All right. How far did you go in school?
I graduated high school.
All right. Why are you out taking vehicles and things that don't belong to you?
I just want to say that I understand the consequences of what I've done.
No, I mean, everybody understands the consequences once they're at the Bexar County Jail, but why are you taking things that don't belong to you?
Didn't steal a car.
Oh, well, you were with the car and in the car, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And the steering column was damaged, so that means that somebody stole the car.
Yes.
And so why are you doing this?
It was parked in front of my house, and I didn't know to call the police.
So you just said, hey, there's a car parked in front of my house. Obviously, somebody has stolen it because the steering column is damaged. So what's the next best thing that I can do that makes sense to me? Oh, let me just drive around in it.
I was gonna drive around. I was just gonna move it out from the front of my house.
Oh, because you're at the apartment complex and you don't want it in front of your home.
It was in an apartment complex at the dead end, live at a dead end.
Oh, so it was at a dead end.
Yes, ma'am.
And you just felt, you know what, let me do a good deed today and move this car.
Yes, ma'am.
Doesn't make sense, but okay. Now you have this case, and let me just tell you, things come and go. And the amount of time that you've been at the Bexar County Jail, you have to ask yourself if it's going on this little joyride, damaging a vehicle that now you're gonna have to pay for, is it worth it? So what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life as far as your education is concerned?
I'm gonna go to school for barber college, which I've been cutting hair for about a year now.
Okay. All right, the court is going to sentence you to the following: 4 years deferred adjudication. There's to be no contact with John Olvera, Olvera, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, taking consideration 2025 PF 02927, restitution 2, and no contact with Ana Luisa Esquivel. There's to be an $800 fine that will be probated. Field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. Do you have any children? Thank you. There's proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There is going to be 120 hours of community service restitution. That will be waived if you obtain some sort of trade school certification or complete some higher level of education. There should be a TAP evaluation out of custody. Follow TAP recommendations. Probation, is there anything else?
Judge, will you, the no contact on John, can you give me the last name again, please?
Olvera.
And nothing else on my end, Judge.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, Judge, thank you.
You're welcome. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
And
sir.
sign it? Because this is plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you. Do better.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
You're welcome. Who's here on Christopher Rivera?
Here, Judge, from Phil.
Yes, come down.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing great. All right, so if you all are not reaching an agreement, you're scheduled for trial. So have you all reached an agreement?
No, Judge. We were scheduled for a discovery.
Oh, this says plea deadline date, March 25th. And it says all on February 20th, it says offer tendered, all discovery received.
We have everything out, Judge. We do have everything now. There was one video that we were lacking and we got it. So that you reset it in a week. And so we have everything. We have an offer.
All right, see y'all back at 1:30 for jury trial.
Just, I need to go over the discovery we just got.
All right, it's a video. All right, guys.
And I am scheduled to be gone tomorrow, Judge.
All right, we'll see what happens at 1:30. Thank you.
I have to leave, Judge.
All right, we'll see. You said you have to leave tomorrow, so you all come back at 1:30. I'll see you all back at 1:30. All right, thanks. Who's here on Guillory?
I am, Your Honor, Eric Walt.
Where's Guillory?
Your Honor, I have.
Okay, if this is off docket, it's gonna have to come back in the afternoon because I have other cases that are ahead of you.
No worries.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you, Judge.
Are these cases that are on the docket, Kawasaki? Okay, everything that is not on the docket, they'll have to come back. So I think this is not. Gaspar Rodriguez.
Present, Your Honor.
Hello.
Hello, Judge.
Hello.
I'll let you the front of the car.
Here.
All right, the court is, are y'all ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor, we're ready.
Court is calling 2023 CR 4768 State versus Gaspar Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris Edelman.
Defense?
Renee Munoz.
And are you Mr. Gaspar Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yeah, I said that y'all are gonna remove my probation.
No. My question is, did you understand that they filed a motion to revoke against you saying that you did not successfully complete this probation?
Yes,
And did you review that document with your attorney?
yes,
Are you the same Gaspar Rodriguez who was placed on community supervision in 2023 CR 4768 for the offense of credit debit card abuse on August 9th, 2023 for a term of 3 years? Is that you?
I thought it was 2 years.
No, you were on probation for 3 years.
Okay,
So are you that same person? State.
In Bear County, Texas, the defendant Gaspar Rodriguez did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the month of December 2024 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
true.
State waives the remaining violation allegations, Judge.
No objection.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $500 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, I didn't know,
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
I didn't know about the $500 fine.
Okay. Well, what I'm telling you is I can sentence you up to a $500 fine because that was a part of your original plea bargain agreement.
Okay,
So knowing all of that, one, I can sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility and give you a $500 fine. Do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
yes,
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there proposed agreement?
No, Judge.
State, what are you requesting?
Revoke supervision, assess punishment at 2 years of confinement in the state jail facility.
All right, defense, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, we're respectfully requesting on behalf of my client 18 months in the state jail facility, less than the 2. For the reason being that my client struggles with substance use disorder, namely methamphetamine use. He did, I know the court's aware of, have access to lifetime recovery. He did go and was working the program. However, he did experience a family loss, which kind of led to some of his instability and caused him to leave, Judge. So that's why and there's been some sporadic in terms of reporting, and that's not an excuse, Judge, but just some better understanding as to why he may have left that facility. He is in need of help regarding substance use, Judge. In light of that, he does want to take advantage of programs at the state jail. We're requesting that this honorable court could consider as well as an additional consideration, the diligent participation credit being presumptively granted under the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, that if he does well and works those programs in the state jail, a little bit of 20% of his time could be possibly reduced as well, Judge. But for these reasons, that's why we're making this request of the court.
All right, has any restitution been paid? Ms. Abrams, has any restitution
I
been
didn't know there was
paid in
restitution.
this court or determined that he owed? All right, and has he completed anything on probation? All right. And there, you wanted to say something?
And I went to lifetime, and then I came to court for the criminal trespass, and they restarted my time, and that was also another reason why I left.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to grant the motion. I'll request therapeutic community for him. Give him credit for any time served. There's a $500 fine, time and money run concurrent, and I'll sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
I did.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have, I'm sorry, because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. if you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. You do have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations that were in the motion, not the fact that you were on community supervision. Do you understand? All right, sir, good luck to you, okay? All right, who's here on Joseph Juarez? All right. Come forward, Mr. Juarez. All right, so you're still in the flux of discovery, I believe.
Definitely, Judge. It's a complicated
setting.
case, although the state and I have had conversations, we've exchanged certain informations, we've made some progress.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 60-day reset for discovery.
I'm sorry, Judge?
60-day reset for discovery on Juarez.
Yes, ma'am. The 27th, 28th, hold on. That's a holiday. May 27th.
All right, May 27th. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you are excused. Who's here on Priscilla Para? All right, so counsel, where are we on this case?
Yes, Judge, I know that the court had some concerns as to psychological states, so we are in receipt of that report as well as furnished to probation department and the state. I believe as per the report, it's saying that she needs something more structured in terms of treatment. I went over that option with my client. She respectfully wants me to ask for time served with regarding her case. She spent some time in custody pending transfer to DDRF. She was at DDRF. She was routed here on a judge's warrant, and she's been here seeing about potential placement, Judge. I notified her that since a motion to revoke had not been issued by the states, that would be maybe an improper request. However, defense counsel does wish to urge this motion for early termination of deferred adjudication, being that she's been in custody for some time, and we feel that merits consideration by the courts in terms of the time spent waiting treatment that she still hasn't received to this point, Judge. So
all right, I'm not inclined to grant early termination or termination, and the reason being is because she really hasn't completed anything. But if there's some documentation that she refuses to sign, then a motion to revoke can be filed.
Understood, Judge, and I did explain that with her, so that it would be up to the determination of the court to put a condition of supervision that would be suitable for her and the needs of not only herself and the community. So that would be an option, and if she refused the treatment route, that a motion to revoke could be issued, Judge. So I did go over that as well with her.
All right, so probation, what treatment do you recommend based upon her evaluation? All right, so the court then will alter amend conditions for safety. And if she does not wish to sign those conditions,
yes,
then the court will consider a motion to revoke. And if you all want to do that today, we can do that today.
One quick question, Your Honor. Would that be safety special needs in light of her mental health issues? Okay, I just want to clarify. Yes, Your Honor, and I'll speak with my client about that program and what to expect, as well as follow up with the probation office, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, who is here on Samantha Venegas? Yes. Hi, and where's Samantha Venegas?
Well, I'm told she's in jail, but IC Solutions doesn't have her in jail. I don't know where she is.
Okay,
He's
so,
upstairs, Your Honor.
okay. All right, so is this something that's going to work out, or?
Judge, we need to confer, because there's a motion. There's another prosecutor that's involved in this case, so I had texted him and was waiting for him to appear. That way we can speak with Mr. Callahan, because there's a motion that the state would like to file.
The case not involved in this case regarding my permission for him to talk to her as a state's witness.
So it is involving a different case, but it would talk to you about it.
All right, so when do y'all want to come back?
If you could just wait a little longer, the prosecutor might go down. It's been told by me, I think it's good down here.
Okay, but we need to take a break for lunch.
Oh, okay. At 1:30.
All right, so if you could come back at 1:30, counsel, are you available?
If you say so, Judge.
All right, please be available at 1:30.
Thank you.
RG Ford. And this is no application probation. Court is calling 2025 CR 00620 State versus RG Ford. Can I have parties announced?
Jason Garahan for the state, Your Honor.
Your Honor, good morning. Frankie Sandoval on behalf of Miss Ford.
And are you Miss Ford? Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, we have, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Ford, did you review the indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading?
Yes, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
All right, did you review that admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? You're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty of 1 less than 1 gram. That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do, Judge.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Ford, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promise you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 155 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. There are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense is at the plea?
It is, Judge.
State is at the plea.
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There are not, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. State exhibit number 1 with all of its attachments.
No objections, Judge.
State, you may be excused.
Thank you,
Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence state 6-1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We would ask that, Judge.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, it's been my honor to represent Miss Ford the last several months. We're here today. When the case was filed, we had the opportunity to come in. She accepts full responsibility. And we would ask the court to file the plea bargaining agreement.
All right, the court will sentence you to 155 days in the Bear County Jail under 1244 and give you credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. How old are you?
40.
I'm sorry?
40.
40. All right, here's the thing. Either you're going to get your life together or you're not going to get it together. Either you're going to take advantage of all of the places that are free that we have in San Antonio to help people with drug problems, or you're not. One or two things going to happen to you if you do not accept those opportunities. Either you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison or in somebody's jail, or either somebody's going to be identifying your body. That's what's going to end up happening. So don't cry about it, do something about it. So, those are your choices. Either you want to improve your life or you don't. I don't know anybody who will raise their hand and say, you know what? I want to live in a shed and just do drugs all day. So you're going to have to make changes. Otherwise, those are the two things that are going to end up happening to you. You understand? All right, good luck to you. Dara Payne.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be
You're welcome.
excused?
Yes.
Off the record, Your Honor,
Yeah.
if we remove the drug portion of that equation and the sheds on the beach, would that be okay?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Because you know what? The board is going to take that shed away.
Exactly. Global warming, Judge.
Yes.
Thank
All right.
you.
You're welcome. Dara Payne.
Sit on that side next to you on top.
We have filed a motion suggesting competency and a request for exam. I think the goal was to do a status update,
Yes.
find out what's going on.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, what is the update on his competency evaluation?
You need to look that up, Judge.
All right, she'll look that up and then we'll see. And then we'll get another date. Oh, no, you don't have to bring it. All right, we're going to take our recess.